is probably one of the best.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, that must mean it's 4 o'clock. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll observe a moment of silence. All right, thank you. All right, well, good afternoon. Let the minutes reflect everyone is here today. We have a full group, and so all good. With that, let's look at the minutes from the March 7th meeting for your approval. Those were presented in the board pack. If you have any additions or corrections to the minutes, let us know, and if not, we'll entertain a motion to approve them as presented.
I'll make the motion.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. I'd like to recognize our visitors. Former Chief Wilson is here. Good to see you, Mike. And our chief that we're going to approve and give an oath of office to, Brian Mayo, is with us today. Welcome, Brian. Brian had his first meeting last night with the city council. He got a 7-0 vote, so I told him not to get used to that, but no, he introduced to the community last night, and we'll have him say a few words today. But welcome, Brian, your first Fire Territory Board meeting. With that, let's move into reports. Oral and written communication, and in the chief's seat is former Chief Brubaker. So you're up with the response. Oh, no, that's Lutheran. Let's start with Lutheran EMS. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I thought maybe we were changing it up.
No, I just got excited. We had 3 chiefs in the room. Too many chiefs, and then, nah, never mind.
All right, well, good afternoon, evening. So you'll see this past month in February, our numbers kind of dipped down, just call volume wise. 911 was lower for us than it has been in months past. As you kind of move through, again, a huge shout out to our crews and their response times, very proud of those. In reference to the on-scene times and then en route to the hospital and getting back in service. Again, something that they continue to do quite well, and very proud of them for that. As you move and you look at the picture that kind of shows the graph in reference to the transport by hour, you'll see that the 8-hour truck that we add specifically to Wayne Township continues to have that peak of that 10 to 6 hour, again, helping to make sure that we're covering. That is something that we look at on a quarterly basis to make sure that those hours are truly when we need it the most. And again, it shows a direct reflection that that really is when that peak volume of 911 is happening from that 10 to 6 hour. So you will see that reflected, and then with the rest of our coverage. Otherwise, I was gonna tell all of you guys I'm very excited. We have a total of 6 staff members that are currently in paramedic school. This is huge for us. It does put us in a position where in a year we'll be looking at an abundance of paramedic coverage in our area, and that is something that is very hard in this day and age to find. So these are all EMTs that are currently working in our coverage area and for our service, who want to be able to do more for the community and expand their coverage. And so they've committed to going to school and then again working for several years after that with us and in our community. So I'm very excited for that. It'll be about 18-ish months before we will see that, but still, that is an exciting time for us, especially when we start talking about coverage and getting employees and things of that nature. So
Questions? Okay,
That's great.
I maybe didn't look close enough. Station 3, you still have a pretty significant number of calls out of Station 3.
Yep,
Okay,
161 in February compared to 187, and that number stays pretty consistent even when I just did the March numbers too, so. Yeah,
okay,
definitely an asset number.
all right. Others? All right, well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. You know, and I never did thank you for the work that the whole city did out during the unfortunate bus crash. And I know we kind of followed up with the school in Chicago a couple months ago, went up and watched them get back on the ice. And I think the whole community was represented well with you all, with our fire and police and who did I forget? Schools were there. Again, I don't think we ever mentioned that there was kind of a finish to that, if you will. And I know they were so grateful, and it was a really great gesture to invite all those that helped out that night to come up and kind of celebrate with them as they came back.
And I've stayed in touch with the coach. It's something that I think is really important for the kids, especially as they're going through, whether it's their physical health or even their mental health, really kind of processing all of that. And they actually went to their championship game this year.
Oh my gosh.
So it's been a full circle for them.
Good.
So, yeah, no, excellent job.
Well, Alicia, thank you very much. I sure appreciate it. All right. Okay. Now, Michael, you're on.
Here again, I apologize. I know this is not the format that you're used to due to lack of time. It is this way again this month. You'll look down through there. We had roughly 5 structure-related fires for the month, 143 EMS calls. Then when you get into the CARES area, it looks like we had 45 related calls there. 10 dispatched, and I'm just hitting the highlights here, 10 dispatch canceled en route, and then 10 alarm systems that were unintentional, so they're false alarms.
Mike, you referred to 45 CARES calls. I assume it was 510 and 550.
Yes.
I know for the future it'd be nice to have those labeled as CARES response. Just
And I think probably here, and like I said, I apologize, I'll coach Brian into getting back to that old format to where
Yeah.
it broke out better.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Then the next page shows training hours. We had 734 for the month in all those various areas. Going down, you go in a few more, it looks like Karen did, or we ended up doing 3 car seats last month. And then, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, the one document shows the amount of runs per day that we have overlapping, just to show that the need for, we are having multiples throughout the day. So,
Okay.
any questions?
Mike, you're studying it pretty hard. Any questions?
No, I'm just appreciative that he's here doing this for us.
Okay.
Since we're in a transition period, I appreciate it.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you.
Would it be possible sometime to get a report from Michaela? Do we have her scheduled on a regular basis?
No, we don't. I suppose that's something we can discuss.
I know she's got that newsletter, but would love to hear from her
Yeah,
in person at some point.
I think at minimum there should probably be maybe a written separate report that she can detail if she's got challenges or did something extraordinary. At least we
Yeah.
keep up on it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that,
Yeah.
those 45 calls, I mean, those are
That's-
significant numbers and
Yeah.
represent some good things happening, hopefully. But yeah, I would love to get more details of those if possible.
I think
At some
that's
point.
a good idea if it doesn't put too much of a burden on her.
Yeah,
I know
I
she's
mean-
busy, but
She's in, Chris, can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, I know she's busy and we're getting ready to bring on a second person. And as far as reporting, I don't know what she does internally, but could that be adapted to
Yeah. I
to the
don't know
monthly-
Why we couldn't do something a little more formal for you guys. She does all of her reporting in the ER system, so that way we're keeping track of all those stops.
Yeah.
That's what those 510s and 550s typically are.
Right.
When she goes out and visits with folks, but she also keeps a dry erase board with all the needs that she's identified and trying to get. So yeah, we can have her do that. Typically her schedule is 8 to 4 Monday through Friday, but it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
It's figured out that we don't have set hours in this life, so.
Where are we at with the second employee?
I actually just talked to Denny about that. He's just ready to advertise it.
Perfect.
Got through all the bells and whistles, I think, right? All the hoops that it had to get, so he's ready to advertise that. I know we've already got 4 or 5 people that have talked to us.
Yeah.
So,
I think that it's pretty clear what the board is requesting. However, let's take our time with it, get that next person in. I don't want to overwhelm her because I know she's very busy. At least we're keeping the numbers, but we can come up with maybe a little bit of a separate report down the road. I think that would be good once she gets a second person established, and because that individual's going to have slightly different response.
Yes, sir.
Would the number be different on there? The code?
We haven't really looked at that yet. Those numbers, correct me if I'm wrong, but those come from the state's numbers that they set, right? As far as the-
Like the 510?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, to keep track of them, we chose to put most of her calls under 510. So like the 550, if an engine crew goes out and they identify a problem, the 550s may be, that was their first contact. So what ends up happening is, whether it gets transferred to her and she moves it to a 510 or it stays a 550, that is an initial contact for the most part. And then within our system, we have a way to refer that situation to her or Chris.
Will it be important to break out substance abuse-related calls? So that'll
Yeah.
probably be a different,
So to what the mayor's talking about is that the new person is gonna focus more on substance abuse and substance use issues within the community, so, and it's really paid for by that RCORP grant. So we're gonna have to keep a little more
Oh.
track of what
That-
those look
yeah.
like, so that we can report that back to the RCORP folks, because that's where that money came from, so. We're gonna have to figure out a different code to put on that.
Yeah, we can figure that out.
But I don't think that's a big deal.
yeah.
So it should be really helpful. I'm looking forward to this. It gives us another avenue to help some folks.
Well, it's just really gratifying to look down and not that there's 42 calls, but the fact that there is that demand. And it really makes us feel satisfied that we're doing this the right way.
Well, and I think, I was in a meeting last week and we had the local Narcotics Anonymous representative was there talking about how Michaela's been dealing with one person in our community that has now been sober for about 2 months and is building a supportive community around herself. So that we're actually kind of backing away from her as she's creating her own, getting back into life.
Yeah.
Basically. And then we have another gentleman that visits us frequently. The Station 2 guys love him dearly, but he visits us frequently, and his wife passed some time ago, and really, we've helped him get back into life as well. So he's got a girlfriend, he's out doing things, and he starts breaking down in tears when he talks about what we've been able to help him get back into life. So those things they make it all worthwhile.
Yep.
It's just kind of a good thing.
Well, it's obvious there's a demand there, looking at these numbers.
Yes, sir.
So thank
Yeah, and
you.
those are some of those things, obviously, with, privacy issues, you can't share a lot of that stuff, but to hear those kinds of stories directly from Michaela, I think would be, it would be good to hear those kinds of things, knowing that this program is successful in And that's, from that standpoint, not just numbers. Those numbers represent more than just a number, so.
Yep.
We'll see if we can get her in here for the next meeting. She can answer some more questions and maybe provide a little bit more of a direct account.
You know what might be interesting too, Chris, is that the difference between the 550s and the 510s, I see there's 3 550s, there's 42 510s, so the other 39, are they from the police department? Are they from, it might be helpful for us to know where these calls are being generated from, because all we're seeing is the fire side.
I think the 550s a lot of times are maybe the guys going out and helping somebody off the floor that needs that physical assistance. A lot of times they're using that. There's really not an emergent need, but maybe the person's
Right.
fallen out of bed, out of a chair, out of a wheelchair, can't get themselves up, they'll go out and physically help them up. We are getting referrals from the police. They really enjoy when we show up and kind of help, kind of direct the process a little bit. But there are a lot of follow-ups in there as well. It's, there's a lot of folks who just need that constant, are you doing what we talked about? Are you following up the way you're supposed to? So there's a lot of, just a mixture in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can get her in here to tell the story a little better, for sure.
Yeah, the program is definitely evolving, and just appreciate your comments and concerns and the importance of it. So, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Sorry to call you up
That's all right.
unannounced. All right. So, Michael, we're going to move into operating fund approval of the expenditures. I don't know if you had any comments on any
No,
specific.
I kind of looked over it. I didn't see anything that was really thought it would give anybody any heartburn. It looked pretty normal. I mean, there was one, I think, on corded, some preventive maintenance was the most expensive, and now I lost it here.
252907 was the amount.
Yes,
Page 7.
it was preventive maintenance for like the 3 fire stations of furnaces and whatnot, I believe. Isn't that right, Shirley? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I think it's when they came in and did going into winter, probably.
All right. All right, any questions?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. 4410's Equipment Replacement Fund. Looks like there was Tway Lifting Products, chains, and some radios. What might that, any, 14 grand for radios, base stations.
That was, that was the, believe we had that meeting on, there was some equipment that was needed for the 800 system to connect headsets to that was overlooked.
Didn't the county pay for?
They did, that
base?
was after the fact, and it was an oversight.
Okay.
And it was catch up.
All right. Any other questions?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. All right, no unfinished business, so we'll move into new business. This afternoon, we're going to ask for your approval to appoint the new fire chief. A little bit of background. State statute says that if the candidate has not been 5 years in the current department, they have to be approved by the council to become the chief. And since Chief Mayo is coming from an outside department. We had to exercise that last night at the council meeting. It was approved 7-0. So the council approved hiring him with that caveat that he had not been here for 5 years, and that was all statutory requirement. So that's been taken care of. So what I'd ask today is that we consider, probably more than consider, we approve the new chief. I would like to have Denny talk again just a little bit about our search process and a little bit about Brian and what brings him here, and then I'll have Brian come up and talk just a little bit, and then we'll administer the oath of office after we take that action. Denny?
Yeah, we, once we had the resignation from Chief Foreman, we really started an internal and external search for the next fire chief. We ended up getting 30 or so applicants, resumes.
Mm-hmm.
We whittled that down. We had 4 internal applicants, and we whittled it down to 4 external applicants. Went through a couple different rotations of interviews. We interviewed Chief Mayo via Zoom. Once we knew that he was going to be one of our finalists, we asked him to make a trip here to Warsaw to meet with us face to face, also get a kind of lay of the land. He had been in the area before, so he kind of had an idea of what Warsaw was like, so that was helpful. But at the end of the day, the qualifications were hands down. The experience that he's had as an assistant chief prior really helped him stand out. So 32 years of fire service, 20 years of military service. So he's going to bring a lot of leadership and mentorship that we've been lacking in the department. He's going to be bringing that to light, and he's really helping build our department to where hopefully there's not even a question if we have to go outside anymore. So, Brian?
Mayor, territory board members, pleasure to be here. I'm Brian Mayo. Like Denny said, 32 years in the fire service. Fire chief before. I did work in St. Joe County for a number of years. So that's where I've run across the paths of Mike Brubaker and some of the other senior time within the department. The reputation of Warsaw has always been good. So there's lots of talent inside, lots of good things happening inside. I hope I can just flush those out and take the department in the direction it needs to go. So, retired Indian Army National Guard officer, so I'm born and raised here. A couple of years in the South, where I got cut my teeth as being a fire chief in Charleston County, South Carolina. And everybody says, why would you want to move from the South? Well, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Spring break's great at the beach, but you got a little bit of the rest of the year. It's hot, muggy, there's gators and snakes and everything else. So I'm a Midwesterner in my heart. My daughter lives here, and my grandfather will real soon, so we're super excited to be here. Taking your question, I could read my resume, but it's not very exciting.
All right, questions? All right, well, Brian, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We will consider that appointment. I take a motion to do that.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Brian, I'm going to have you come up front, and we're going to do the oath of office. Great. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Brian Mayo,
I'm Brad Mayo.
do solemnly swear
I'm solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and diligently
and I will faithfully, impartially, and diligently
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as a member of the Warsaw-Wayne
as a member of the Warsaw-Wayne
Township Fire Protection Territory,
Township Fire Protection Territory,
according to the law,
according to the law,
to the best of my ability.
and to my ability.
Congratulations. All right. Go ahead and sign this, and we'll be all set. Sign it, put your name.
Yeah.
Mike was ready to jump right out.
And I'm very thankful. Very thankful.
This could be a first, having 3 former chiefs and the new chief in the same room, at a council meeting, or a fire territory meeting.
Yes. I got excited when 3 of them. Too many chiefs, so like I said, so let's just. All right. All right, let's move on to travel requests, please. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Mike, any comments on any of these trainings?
No, I think I looked at these. There's no overnight in any of them. They're basically, they might be multiple days, but they're at a location to where they can drive back and forth. So I don't think there's, unless I missed something. And there's, oh, sorry, I'm scrolling here. And only 2 of them come with a fee. The one was $30, and then the other one was $55 for to take the class.
So-
Looks like Chris's and Michaela's, there's no charge for those.
The class for Chief Bollinger?
Yeah.
Crisis management for school-based incidents, what does that entail?
I don't know that I can answer that question.
Oh, there's a flyer right there.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
I know the county got together. Mike, you were probably involved in that about, I don't know, 6 months ago, where they were trying to put together a
Yeah,
crisis
I know they've
management
been
plan.
working pretty diligently to, I know the law enforcement and fire have been working on this type of response. And I would assume that it is probably just for more knowledge into that type of response.
Planning, yeah. Any other questions?
When they go to these, they're not staying all night, do they drive a?
City vehicle, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else from the city going, you know?
I don't know. Sorry, I'm not, here again,
Sorry, Mike.
no. It's,
Doesn't look like it, because they'd have to
yeah.
be on this list.
Nobody else from the fire department would be. I don't know if there's anybody from law enforcement going.
Yeah, I guess that was my question. Nobody from EMS, Alicia?
All right. Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve the travel request as presented?
I'll move.
Thank you, Gordy. Is there a second?
I second.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Any other matters to come before the board? Okay. No items carried forward. Chief Wilson, thank you for your attendance today. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Chief Brubaker, former Chief Brubaker.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for filling in. I know we had a little bit of a transition period there, and glad you were able to fill in and help out. It put my mind at ease that you and Aaron were taking care of things, so thank you very much. All right, Chief Mayo, you are the newest chief, and you'll be in that seat next month, and I know you got a lot of plans to get running starting tomorrow. And I think you're official now, so very pleased to have you here. Congratulations. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you.